1st of April. Yesterday, the end of March, where it rained the entire month. But my website and my videos kept me really busy and stimulated during the entire month. What I'd like to do is to update and recap where the website is at this point. And the major focus of what I want to do with the website is share my simple techniques to be able to help any crafter out there with these simple things to help them make their projects much more approachable and easy to do. So up to this point, or now up to 36 videos, I find that quite amazing. Some of the videos that we've done are one on resizing patterns and how you can use your computer or even by hand, making your project either larger or smaller. I've done a tutorial on making your own ribbon fabric with little bits of ribbon you have around the house. And I will be doing a ribbon ornament for April for my 12-month calendar. Pattern storage was a big one for me, and you get patterns from everywhere. Like I've got patterns that I've taken off the internet. I have patterns that I buy, specifically Lisa Bay's masterclass patterns, and how you store them so that when you're planning a project, you can take all these different patterns and somehow incorporate them into one that you're working with. In particular, I'm doing Easter table decor, and I'm incorporating about 6 or 7 different patterns into it, and how you incorporate your fabrics and to tie them all together. Other things that we've done are I developed a crafting template. And what it is I divided it into sections, giving the project a name. And I use this mostly just for my art dolls. And I talk about techniques that I used, alterations of a pattern, the symbolism. Why did I do the project? Why did I make it? And the reason behind it. Also, section on mistakes and what I would do different. And also usually a short little quote at the end. That was a lot of fun to put that one together. Homemade craft joints was another tutorial I did on using bottle caps, discs, CD discs, that type of thing, wooden discs, buttons. One on piping, utilizing the bottoms of t-shirts to pipe so that you can incorporate that material into your projects by using that same fabric. Also, again, I worked on the Advent calendar ornaments, and I've already started the one for April because I know April's going to be a busy month. So my philosophy in total is research and resources, and you get resources from everywhere. So what I have done is I have set up a resource template in my website, fransfriends.com, and each month as I find new and interesting resources, I'll add them, because I acknowledge the fact that it's not all my patterns, but I may take one idea from a pattern. I don't use the pattern, but I use something that stimulated that person to make their own ideas for the projects. So I came up with a few this month, and one of them is one called Mama Roar, and she's a very talented lady who does very small little animals or dolls, but she dresses them, and her patterns are very simple. But now she does sell her patterns. I don't sell patterns. I recreate patterns or make my own, but don't sell them. As well as I don't sell my dolls or my projects. I only do it for fun. I don't think I would feel comfortable selling. I think it would be too much pressure. But this Mama Roar is quite an interesting lady. Another one is Talent Girl. And everybody has their own little niche. Talent Girl is good. One in particular that I really like it's called Happy Lab Dolls. And what I like about hers is they're like rag dolls or craft dolls, but she incorporates a lot of embroidery into her projects, and she pulls the clothing that she puts on them really nicely together. Another one is Dear Darling dolls. Her techniques are quite interesting. There's one that I'm very hard to press to be able to pronounce her name, but I've watched her over the years, and she's now gotten into making her own patterns, and I'm sure she sells her patterns. But it's Dijalinda Ferreria. I don't know where she's from, but her projects are made from recycled fabrics and recycled bottle caps and that kind of stuff. And her work is very, very interesting. Of course, previously, Creative Mammy is one that I follow pretty much every month. There is one that I've just come across lately, and it's called Zai Kuti. I think I pronounced it right. And it's, I don't know where she is established, but she makes the most incredible bunnies. She uses the same pattern, and I know she does limited editions of these things, I think. But it's her use of color and coordinating her fabrics for these bunnies with the ears of a different fabric, and the way she ties them all together is just amazing. And one that I've made several patterns from, printed them off, but I enlarged them and did my own thing, was one called Handy Mum Lynn. And she uses a lot of blue jean fabric to make like fish or whales. And the one particular one was a seahorse that I used sort of a similar pattern for. But in all, these are really talented people that are sharing their talents. And if I can share a little bit, I really would be pleased. Now, one thing I've also noticed over the last month or two is the resurgence of embroidery. Now, I grew up with embroidery, and I did a ton of embroidery, but to embroider now, to frame and put on a wall, I haven't got any space. But some people are using their embroidery skills to accent dresses, dolls' dresses, and headbands, and purses, and all kinds of things. So I came across a few that I found quite interesting. One was called Crafty Needles, and what she does is borders. And I'm going to do one of my next projects. If I have to make a dress, I'm going to try to incorporate doing embroidered border edges on it, and using color schemes that might mix and match. That might be kind of fun. Another one is called Embroidery Skills Ideas. And the one in particular that I really like is called Secret Hand Stitch. So there's a few that are out there that you can have a look at, pick up some of their techniques, and then incorporate them into what your preference is for working with your crafts. Now, one of the other things that we did on the website this month was we wanted to incorporate some more detail in some of my projects so that you get a better idea of how detailed some of these things are. As an example, what we did was we put music to a project. One was called Humpty Dumpty, but it showed how I produced the project and then took the video music to put to it. And it's what they call shorts or reels. So that's what and I've done it on a few. One was the cat that I did, and it's called Sitting at the Dock of the Bay. And it's got fish all over it. And they were really fun, and I've enjoyed doing those ones. One of the things I'd like to do maybe in the future is I've seen some people do sort of like an animated motion of their projects, like a bear and the hand goes up and over, and you film it, short little stints, and then put it all together. That might be something to play around with. So, April has come upon us, and April is going to be a very busy and interesting month. Spring has sprung, and there's going to be lots to do, hopefully, out in the garden, and lots of projects for creativity in the crafting field. One of the things I've just finished, which I'll be posting very shortly, is a ruffle tutorial on how you can use your sewing machine to make ruffles, or even hand ruffling, or even smocking, that type of thing. So I've got a little tutorial on how that works and what types of things you can ruffle. For, as an example, a ruffle around the neck, on a bear or some kind of an animal, or ruffle on a skirt, or all kinds of different ways that you can utilize ruffles. Another thing that I want to bring forward is, over the years, I've tried different ways of making Easter baskets. Cloth Easter baskets, baskets made out of margarine containers and plastic recycled materials by cutting the pieces and weaving them with wool, and then building up a basket and putting a handle on it, and then filling it, finding different small little projects to fill the basket with. One of my major projects for April, of course, April dinner or luncheon is going to be coming along, and even though my household is only of 2, I still like to have a nice table. So I've made a real challenge for myself using 2 small pieces of sort of purpley Easter colored material and incorporating about 5 or 6 different patterns, resizing them to pull together, a holder for the utensils and a napkin ring and that kind of thing. So I'll show you little snippets of it and then do a presentation of the actual table setting later on this month. One of the things I've been able to obtain, which is almost next to impossible in Canada, or especially on where I live, is mohair. So I was nicely able to obtain some mohair from London, England, and I'm gonna try my hand at my first 2 little mini bears. Other things is I'd like to do a video this month on sort of a musical Easter parade, sort of showing off some of the Easter the rabbits that I've made over the last couple of years. Different types of rabbits, big ones, little ones, and that kind of thing, and putting it to sort of maybe a musical thing. So that's some of the things. An art doll. I have an art doll in mind. I'm not too sure. I may get to it because I've got a lot on my project list. But in essence, the website I'm very proud of. I'm hoping that I can get better at doing the videos and not too many ums and haws and that kind of thing. And what I'd like to do in the future is to maybe open it up to see if we can correspond in some way. I'm not very, podcast technical and that kind of thing, but there should be a way that we can exchange ideas. So basically, I have a take-home message, and that take the talents that are around you from wherever, books, the internet, friends, and enhance your own creativity by utilizing the talents of others. So thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along with friends, and we'll carry on and see where this takes us. Okay, bye for now.